Hello there. I'm hoping to give you useful information about the construction and details of a small slipway. We bought this property, a fairly rundown boatyard, many years ago, and rebuilt the slip and everything on the property. Here are a couple of views from above, just to give you an idea of the place before I try to get into some detail. I realise that this information has very limited appeal, but there may be someone for whom it is useful, and if so, this video is for you. To set these cradles, the bottom of the arm is pinned in the hole to the width of the boat in the holes, and the top of the arm can be adjusted in and out with the acros, which have different settings on the outer sleeve, as you can see, and fine adjustment with the thread. The bit of chain is for safety. The big platform can be swung back for beamier boats. These cradles have channels running fore and aft supporting the wheels, and I-beams that slot into them for the rest of the cradle. The gauge of the rails is 8 feet. We slip boats up to a little over 40 tons on this equipment. The smallest slip at the side has a gauge of 1.6 metres and is slightly steeper than the main slip. We slip boats up to about 12 tonnes on this slip. I've been happy with the design of these cradles. They do require maintenance to keep on top of the rust. The boats can be moved sideways onto other tracks. Here are some of the details of this equipment. The pictures show how these various parts were made, and the wheels are cast steel. I put a little bit of concave to keep them running in exactly the same position as they pass things. This is the pattern for casting those wheels. You can see it splits in half for the people at the foundry to get it out of the mould. There are the wheels in place. You can see the bit of concave which I put to make the wheels track on the rails in exactly the same position as they pass the ends of the other rails. That's just a view of the trolleys. This winch pulls them backwards and forwards. I put a baffle in the middle, a plate in the middle, so that one side winds on and one side winds off, and the wire runs across the yard through a pulley and back to itself. The long spring you see on the ground there compensates for the changing length of the wire as it rolls on and off either side of the winch. I'll now show you the main winch. Much of it came off a crane for lifting cane onto railway carriages. This winch has a clutch which allows you to freewheel the trolley if that becomes necessary. In front of the gearbox there is an electric brake which activates as soon as the power is cut off, and a 14 horsepower motor. When we originally bought this winch up at the Darling Downs, we were told it would pull hell up by the roots. Some boats have to be blocked up to get better access under them, and here are some of the designs of ways of quickly getting blocking onto the cradle. These blocks have 3 claws to hook onto the beam and a pin to lock it in place, as you can see in the video. You can see how the hooks hook them on, and then the pin drops in to stop them being able to float off. This design is to save time during setup. When higher blocking is needed, we made some frames which just drop onto the I-beams and get wedge tight at the bottom. Here's a couple of views of these so you can get the idea. That one's not wedged, that one's leaning over. There's a boat, small boat sitting up on a couple of the stands. There's a lot more I could discuss with you should you be planning to build a small slipway like this. But here are some shots of a boat being slipped. Some of these wooden boats, their owners prefer to come onto this sort of equipment than being lifted in slings, and we have some boats coming quite a reasonable distance to use the slip here. Pelican Slipway is being run by a very nice group who also run a sailing school known as Blue Peter. We also have a cafe on the site which was set up to try to economically support the whole operation. The cafe has lovely views and is in quite a nice location. This boat is sitting on frames which drop in to support short keels. This stops the boat dropping between the wider spaced beams. Multi-hulls can be supported under the wings on this frame, which is adjustable in every direction. Thank you for watching. A lot of people have helped us get this place set up, and I'll leave you with a picture of our boat one-off which is sitting here at the jetty.